However, what do you think they're hoping to achieve really with this declaration of martial law in Ukraine?
Well, Petro Poroshenko had to dilute his original proposal of nationwide martial law for 2 months. As you heard there, it's now only going to be in some regions of Ukraine, regions that border either Russia or areas that have got Russian troops in them, and it's only going to be for 1 month. That is because a lot of Ukrainians were voicing concerns about the possible restrictions on civil liberties that the imposition of martial law could contain. I mean, if you read the text of Ukraine's legislation on martial law, then it's clear that it does allow for restrictions of civil liberties. You can't protest. It allows for the state to take over companies if it thinks that their property or anything else could be useful for the war effort. It also allows for such things as expelling Russian citizens or citizens of the aggressor country from Ukraine without too much procedure about it. Now, Petro Poroshenko has been at pains to say that none of these restrictions on civil liberties will apply unless there really is a land invasion, which is what he and some of his security advisors have been predicting. But let's not forget, it's not the first time that they've predicted something like that. But certainly Petro Poroshenko had to water down his proposals. It's important to note that Kiev is not among the 10 regions where martial law has been introduced.
And of course, Gulliver, this all comes after an escalation of tension between Kiev and Moscow, notably after Russia seized 3 Ukrainian vessels and are still holding over 20 Ukrainian sailors.
Yeah, curiously, Ukraine says there are 23 sailors that Russia has captured, and Russia says there's 24 of them. In any case, they're being held in Kerch, which is in occupied Crimea, and some Russian media have been reporting that they could go on trial as early as today in the Crimean capital, Simferopol. The Russian authorities presented videos of some of the Ukrainian sailors in which they appear to confess to having violated Russian territorial waters and to having ignored the Russians' orders to stop. The Ukrainian Naval Command said that they reacted to those videos with understanding because they know the kind of techniques that Russia applies, a clear allusion to physical and psychological pressure. It's true that if you look at the videos, they look as though they're reading some kind of prepared statement and not speaking exactly of their own free will.
OK, Gulliver, for now, thanks indeed, Gulliver Cragg there reporting for us from Kiev.